are on day 3. It's dinner. Love your music, love your senses. Today's recipe is love your senses. Remember to subscribe to the Let It Go Diet channel and hit the like button. Let's go ahead. Let It Go Diet is about letting go of everything else and taking care of you. Okay, we're going to follow this recipe, Love Your Senses. It calls for 1 cup of edamame, 4 cloves of garlic, 1/4 to a teaspoon of crushed red pepper, 1 inch of ginger, 12 bok choy. If you've never had bok choy, they use it a lot in Asian cultures and cuisines. It's a treat, you'll love it. 4 cups of mushrooms. I have about 6. I loaded up on those. Regular mushrooms and some shiitake mushrooms. 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. We'll get that. Balsamic vinegar. 4 tablespoons of honey, Bragg's amino acid. Guess it was all that dancing, maybe forget about stuff. 1/4 cup of pumpkin seed, 1 orange squeezed. We're going to go with 2. I like a more citrus taste. And lime. If you like a little bit of sour, add more lime. Again, you want to not add in 4 or 5 oranges. You know, 1 or 2 limes. The fruit will have more calories. We want to restrict the calories a little bit. Nutrition tidbit about the garlic. It has strong antibacterial and antiviral properties. It may help yeast infections, sinus infections, and the common cold. So this will be a good hearty dish in the summer, winter, spring, fall, whenever you want to eat it. And we're going to prepare the food and then we're going to cook it on the stove. When we cook, remember, we're not going to what? We're not going to overcook. Everything is al dente. We can keep all the nutrients in the food, but we like it warm to keep it comfortable. That's why Let It Go Diet is the best raw, vegan recipe diet plan I feel there is. And the great thing is you get to learn how to be a vegan chef. Even though I prepared some things ahead of time by rinsing and washing everything, I left the ginger and the green onions and scallions to cut up. So we'll cut these into small pieces. I pre-cut the garlic into slices. You really don't want to press this into this recipe because it would be really strong. So about 1 inch of ginger, we'll cut this thin as well, just like the garlic. We're going to squeeze our orange, or oranges in this case. Again, I'm just hand squeezing, and that's why I'm using 2. If you have a manual juicer that you can press on and get all the juice out, by all means, 1 orange is probably enough, but since I'm hand squeezing it, I'm just going to go ahead and use 2 oranges. We're going to squeeze the lime to get the juice out of that. You'll know if you have cuts on your hands with squeezing the lime. Okay, with everything prepped, we're going to get our pan, or in this case, the recipe does call for a skillet. I'm going to use a pan. We're going to add everything in right now except the bok choy and the mushrooms. So, 1 cup of edamame, 1 inch of ginger sliced, 4 cloves of garlic sliced, and about 6 or 8 green onions. Crushed red pepper, it calls for 1/4 to 1/2 of teaspoon. Again, flavor this to taste. I'm going to do a teaspoon. I actually love red pepper, so even though it calls for 1/4 to 1/2, I put in a teaspoon and 1/2. 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Use your best guess. 4 tablespoons of honey. We'll eyeball this as well. This is a 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds. We have the orange, 1 orange. I have 2 oranges and 1 lime. And for the Bragg's amino acid, it calls for 5 tablespoons. I will measure this out because this is a little higher in sodium. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll give this a good mix. And we're going to put this on the stove and we're going to let it cook. We're going to let it get really warm for about 5 minutes. We'll add in the mushrooms and we'll let that cook for 3 minutes. And after 3 minutes of cooking the mushrooms, we'll move to the bok choy and cook that in for about 1 minute to 3 minutes. See you over at the stove. This has been cooking now for about 5 minutes. We're going to add in the mushrooms. Again, this calls for 4 cups. I just had an extra container of shiitake mushrooms that I thought would be wonderful to add in. Go ahead and stir up the mushrooms in with the sauce that was cooking. Okay, the mushrooms have been cooking for exactly 4 minutes. And you can see that they look like they're cooked well. So we're going to add in the bok choy. Again, we do not want to overcook anything. So we'll give that a minute to cook down. Okay, the bok choy's been cooking for a good minute or two. We'll give it a good stir so the rest of it can cook up. We just want to go ahead and give this bok choy probably another minute and we should be ready to go. Al dente. Alright, this is Love Your Senses. It's dinner time, day 3. As always, we do a taste test on video. There's a ton of juice. Hard to see, but we'll pour some out. Remember, enjoy yourself, enjoy your time. You are bettering your body. And in another week, I'll probably be about 7 or 8 pounds lighter. Bok choy, mushroom, it's a little hot. Woo! Tasty, steamy hot. Let It Go Diet. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon. Love your senses.